Shalom, Koloyim La, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Also, by the bonus Elder GMS, and honor to you, Akim. Peace and blessings to you, brothers and sisters that listen. Hopefully, let's Koloyim La, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. And I heard the elders talk about this, last when they're out there in highways and hedges. I think the week before that, with Elder Pastor recall, getting it on Eve. And, the latest one was, Eve's Kiki Palmer, her man reprimanded her on the way she dressed and the way she carried herself. Supposedly, being his baby mama or girlfriend, which that's technically his wife, according to the scriptures, and them having a child. Supposed to carry herself with more class and respect. And he got ridiculed, man. Okay, he got ridiculed, man. Right, show you the ways of this world, man. Okay, and she just came out today. She said in her bag, not feelings, the article, Kiki Palmer to Broccoli City Fest crowd. I don't need a nigga. Only thing I need is a bag. And that's the mindset of these women today. Leave Eve alone, man. Leave Eve alone, man. Okay, this I was going through the scripture. I said I'm probably titled this a Lot's wife, right? Which the scripture says wisdom of Solomon. Get that later on. She was a monument of an unbelieving soul, man. She's an example to a lot of these people who are attached to America, attached to the bag, attached to carnal things. What's going to happen to them in the latter end, man? And everybody's cursing you Eves out, man. Everybody, man. You're the most undateable female on the planet. All right, you had your cheeks out, can't be controlled, you're combative, you're aggressive, and you had this ratchet behavior, man. Just like you had this other Eve got hemmed up over there in Dubai, Eastern culture. They're not going to tolerate that, man. Okay? You are there trying to go shout and match with a man. Your ass got locked up, man. And her mom is all scared and man. Okay? That type of behavior is gonna get abolished out of the earth, man. Okay? And that's Babylonian culture. That comes from feminism, man. And you Eves, you've been polluted. That's why you had that demon Kiki Palmer said, I don't need a man, all I need is money. Look at their mindset. First they say, Jake is never there. There's no man around. Blah, blah, blah. Everything is the man's fault. And now you got a man in your life, all right, who wants to be a father, who's trying to be a man in a household and telling you what you're doing is not right. And you're telling him, listen, don't tell me what to do. I do what I want, man. So these women don't want to be ruled over, man. Okay? And they're exploiting themselves. These Instagram models, the Glorillas, okay, the shit that they talk about in their songs, they ridicule themselves, man. They denigrate themselves, man. Okay, and that all falls on you, and that's why the scripture says this: for people who think like that, and women who think like that. Let's get to the book of Sirach, the 5th chapter. Let's get to these precepts now. Sirach chapter 5 verse 7. The point I want to get wisdom of Solomon, the 10th chapter. Sirach chapter 5 verse 7. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put it not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security, right, which the main security, especially in this world, is money, finances, man. That's what people trust in, is the dollar, which today is they brought forth their Fed now. Okay? They're moving towards that digital currency, man, which we know what that represents. All right, slavery. But the scripture says, in thy security, especially women, the scripture says to rise of you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, the careless daughters, man. Okay? Many days and years you shall be troubled. They're careless because they believe they're secure. They think their daddy Aisha is going to keep funding and supporting them until the forever, man. Okay? Nah, man, he's about to turn on you because he's a serpent. And you're going to need a man in these times. So the scripture says, in thy security thou shalt be destroyed. Because he's about to pull the rug from under your feet. Right? He's about to take away your welfare, your benefits, all that child support shit is about to go out the door. All you women in your corporate jobs, okay? You entertainers, all that stuff, this place is going down, man. And the scripture says, in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, man. Because we know they're going to bring more terrorist attacks, man. We've been talking about the economy collapsing, famine. They just did another article on, seen a news report. They keep pushing this cyber attack out there. Power outages. Because we believe through the Spirit, that's going to be the next major thing, as Mr. Swab said. So the scripture says, in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance, man. All right, it says, set not thine heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. The bag is not going to profit you, man. All right? That you women love boasting about, man. Jumping from dude to dude, being a whore, being an OnlyFans, a model, okay? You know what I'm saying? Scripture say you open your mouth as a thirsty traveler. You see what I'm saying? And that's why these women, you had that woman got hemmed up in Dubai. That's what they go out there in Dubai to do, man. We all know the degenerate things they do out there for money. Okay? With them Arabs, man. You see, getting shitted on and all that, man. The scripture says that's not going to save you in the day of calamity. Riches profit not in the day of wrath. And that's what happened to Lot's wife, man. That's why, let me get that precept before I get, in fact, let me get that. Sirach 11:27. Which actually goes with this. And then let me get that precept. Sirach chapter 11, verse 27. It says, the affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deed shall be discovered, man. So in your affliction, like the Lord said, in their affliction they shall seek me early. But the Most High said also in Proverbs, the first chapter, he's going to laugh at your calamities. He's going to mock you, man. That scripture says, she as thy enemy shall see, and shame shall cover her, man. You're going to be trampled down like shit in the streets and during the hour of temptation. Men are already starting to wake up to you women, man. Figure you out, man. Because you and the serpent are about to go down. And the scripture says, what? In the affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, man. Right? You people going to learn the hard way, man. Especially you Eves, man. All right? And in the end, your deed shall be discovered. The Lord's going to bring everything into light, man. Every man's going to pay. Okay? She said we all got to stand before the judgment seat, man. Whether you were good or whether you were evil, you're going to be judged according to your deeds. All right? And that's why the scripture says, before I get with Solomon 10:13, talks about being covetous, man. Let me get that Sirach 31:13. All right? That's in the commandments. You're not supposed to be covetous, man. Right? And who are they coveting after? The oppressor. Right? She says, choose none of his ways. And she can't see, Eve can't see her ways have destroyed the so-called black community. There is no more families anymore, man. Right? Because just like that demonic witch just said, that's the mindset that all of you in. Because you're looking up at Cardi B's, the Megan Thee Stallions, the Beyonce's, right? Your whole mentality is the bag of money. All right? And who has suffered? Your children has suffered broken homes. Your son is a thug. Right? Your daughter, what? She follows in the footsteps of her mother. Right? There's no father figure there. Because you don't want to be ruled over, man. And a lot of you are just covetous, man. Scripture says this, Sirach 31:13. Remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing. And what is created more wicked than an eye? Therefore it weepeth upon occasion. Right? The scripture says that a wicked eye is an evil thing. All right? Being what? Covetous. And the scripture says you Eves in Isaiah the 3rd chapter. All right? Which just all ties into Lot's wife. She was an unbelieving soul, man. The order was given not to look back. And I'm going to with Psalm 10 after this. It says, Isaiah chapter 3:16, as for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee, especially these false leaders, these women, cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths, man. That's why verse 16 says, Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, right? They're haughty, they're mean, they're contentious, they high-minded, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, undisciplined eyes, man. All right? Covetous, man. You see? Lusting, man. Completely undisciplined, man, and uncontrollable. Walking and mincing as they go and making a tingling with their feet. Therefore, Yahweh Shemel Shah will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh Shemel Shah will discover their secret parts, and that's why they harlots. That's why they have no hair on their goddamn head, because it's a curse, man. Mosiah said he was going to take away everything, the apparel, ornaments, all of that away from the Israelite woman, and he was going to make her a bald-headed demon, man. Ugly, man. All right? The inner and the outer is completely gone, man. And we see that today, man. And that's why I'm going to get with Psalm 10 and 13. Let's get that. So, you know. Oh, man. Matter of fact, before I get with Psalm 10, 13, let me read Genesis 13 and 5 when we get that. Genesis 13 and 5, it says, And Lot also, which was with Abram his nephew, had flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together. For their substance was great, so they were wealthy. They weren't rich, they were wealthy, man. They had flocks, herds, okay, land. You see, these celebrities today, they just rich. They have what you call liquid money. But nah, our forefathers had possession. They had resources, things that you need, all right? So that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle. And the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled then in the land. And Abram said unto Lot, Let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, and it was well watered everywhere, before Yahweh Shemel Shah destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? So Lot went to what? Sodom, man. Verse 12, Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of plain, and pitched his tent towards Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before Yahweh Shemel Shah exceedingly. Let's get the book of Wisdom, the 10th chapter. We all know the outcome, the story, what happened. Most High got the angels to get Lot the hell up out of there and destroy that place, man. But who turned back, man? Who turned back? The woman, man. Because she did not believe, man. And the majority of these Eves, these women, they don't believe. And they don't want to see you in power. All right? They hate you, Jakes, man. And the average Israelite man is starting to figure that out, man. That's why there's a huge uproar online right now. Starting to figure out that these women are the enemy, man. Vast majority of them, man. All right? They don't want to give up that power that the serpent blessed them with. That scripture says, it's Wisdom, the 10th chapter. It says, let's go further up. All right? Let's go into our forefathers' history. Wisdom in chapter 10. This is the wrong verse. Wisdom in chapter 10. Let's go into wisdom, acts of our forefathers. Verse 7 is where there's a point, but let me go. Verse 10. It says, Wisdom in chapter 10, it's verse 6. It says, When the ungodly perisheth, she delivered the righteous man, Lot, who fled from the fire which fell down upon the 5 cities, man. And scripture tell you, America spiritually Sodom and Egypt. That same fire destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. The same fire and missiles, man. All right? This place is going to be destroyed with fire, man. That's why Yahweh Shai told us to remember Lot's wife, man. This place is about to be destroyed, man. Okay, so we can't cling on to anything here. And that's the main second part I want to go into. It says, of whose wickedness even to this day the wasteland that smoketh is a testimony, and plants bearing fruit that never came to ripeness. And a standing pillar of salt is a monument of an unbelieving soul. And who was that? Lot's wife, man. Right? That pillar of salt was there because why? She was an unbelieving soul, man. And that's what the scripture tells us to remember her, man. All right? Remember Lot's wife, man. See? And it's not just getting on the woman, but us in general as men. She was attracted to the great substance that they had, the material things that they had, man. We have to leave all these things behind because we're about to enter into the straight gate, a time of great tribulation, man. A time that the world has never seen before. And that's why the prophecy said, let me get 2nd Ezra 14 and 14. It says, let go from the mortal thoughts, carnal thoughts, man. You know, weigh us down day to day. Especially with Jake, because, you know, your bills and fine things that you have to pay, right? These are mortal thoughts, man. Okay? Foolish things that bother us day to day. She says to let those things go and cast away the burdens of man, because we have to leave all these things behind anyway. And put off now the weak nature. Okay? We have to be men in these times. We have to have a certain mindset in these last days. All right? Let's read on. It says, put off now the weak nature and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste to flee from these times. Why? For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Great evils about to come. Great evils. The scripture says Aishar is going to come down with holy hell to set up his NWO, man. And we also in the time of the greatest war that's going to ever be fought, World War III. So we have to have a certain mindset approaching these days, man. That's what Yahweh Shai said in Matthew the 6th chapter. Matthew 6:22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light, man. Full of this wisdom, full of this truth. Okay? Have our mind and our energy is just completely on this word, man. Completely on what? Salvation. Right? Verse 23. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? And that darkness represents Lot's wife as well, man. See, she couldn't be fixated on things ahead of her, man. She was attached to the world, carnal things, man. And the scripture says she was a monument of an unbelieving soul, and we can't be like that. See? Can't, man. Because we ain't going to carry nothing with us, man. Not even these bodies. That's why Yahweh Shai said, Luke 17, verse 32, remember Lot's wife. Remember Lot's wife, man. Remember her, man. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, man. And whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it, man. Seek to save your life in this society, especially when that MOTB come out. A lot of you jakes are going to take it. Right? Just like a lot of you took Vanessa, took the jump shot because you were seeking to save your life, man. A lot of you dropping dead now, all sorts of health problems, man. You see? Because you didn't trust in Yahweh Shai, man. You got caught up on the things that you saw. All right? And you were seeking to save your life, man. See? But whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. We lost it. We gave up everything for the kingdom, man. And out of watches out, we're going to be rewarded in the latter end, man. So like the scripture said, remember Lot's wife, man. We're not getting caught up or attached to the things of this present world, man. Yahweh Shai said, my kingdom is not of this world. All right? So that must say, Koloyim La, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Shalom.